The best book on DIV ozone injections. Hi guys, here's Paula, and today I want to talk about my book, which is finally out, the DIV for the super paranoid. So this is a step-by-step guide on how to perform DIV, so direct intravenous ozone injections on yourself. So the book is out and it is available under the following link. So you just type in thepowerofozone.com/shop, and you can buy the book there for $47. And well, a little bit later I will show you exactly how to do this, because there are a few things that a few people had like problems with, because there are a few legal things that you need to check off before you check out. So I will show all of that. But first of all, a disclaimer. So for everyone who's watching this, so this video will be basically one big marketing fest. So this will be all about my book, and to to make you buy that book and to promote the book. So if you're not into this, if you're not interested about DIV ozone injections, if you don't want to be sold anything, then of course don't watch this video. But also a disclaimer, so this is not supposed to be misunderstood as me promoting also DIV ozone injections. So I do not want people to have the impression that I'm pushing DIV ozone injections. So if this is something that does not interest you, if you're afraid of DIV ozone injections, if you think this is a completely kooky idea, then you should not do them. So if you're not interested in the subject, don't buy the book. But if this is something that you are interested in, that you think, okay, it could be a good idea, knowing how to perform those types of treatments, then this is, in my opinion, the best source, the best resource to know how to do this as safely as possible. Well, this is really the only resource right now. So this is, my book is right now is the only book on the subject right now, as far as I know, that gives really detailed step-by-step instructions. So this, first off, yes, and I also don't believe that DIV ozone injections are some magical treatment that certain conditions require specifically DIV ozone injections, and that certain conditions cannot be treated with anything other than DIV ozone injections. I do not believe this, and if you hear this from anyone else, please don't believe this either. I don't think this is accurate. But having said this, DIV ozone injections are definitely one of my favorite ozone treatments, for the simple reason that they're very simple to perform. You need just very few supplies and pieces of equipment, which are easily to purchase, and they can be incredibly powerful. So I believe that they can be even more powerful, or maybe as powerful as 10-pass treatments or multi-pass treatments, but without the problem, without the confounding factor of heparin or hemolysis, which appears to play a role with 10-pass treatments. So I think the DIV ozone injections are a great tool to have, and so to be able to administer them whenever it is necessary. So yeah, having said this, as I said, if you're not interested, don't buy it. So so now that I'm done discouraging people from buying the book, let's talk about the book. So okay, so let's go to that website. So let me see, where are we here? Okay, so let's do this like this. Okay, so when you type in thepowerofozone.com/shop, then you will come here to this page that I set up, and so here is the book on the left side, and so if you want to know more what is in the book, then just click on learn more, And then you will be directed here to this sales page. And see here on this side, you can actually scroll to some preview of the pages, so to give you an idea what is in the book. And so you see, this is basically how a large part of the book is looks like. So there are lots of pictures. There's over 200 pictures, so there's 227 pictures in that book. And so it's really like a DIV for dummies type of deal. So there's lots of pictures, and then next to the pictures, it's explained exactly what it is, or what steps to take, and so forth. And this is, for example, this shows you so what supplies you need. So this is the tape, you see, so you have a picture of the tape, and then explained what type of tape you need. And here another chapter of the book. So the book has a total of 20 chapters and 170 pages. So another chapter is how to create an airtight oxygen circuit, because this is of course something that is very important. You don't want to have any leakages in the line. Everything needs to be airtight so that you are sure that you are injecting only pure ozone oxygen when you're performing the DIV administration. Another here, so the main chapter which shows the actual DIV for the supraparanoid protocol, this is the chapter number 10. And so the whole protocol, those are 65 steps, and you see, so each step has one picture, and then next to the picture is described exactly what you need to do. So all you need to do is really just follow the steps, so one by one. Okay, another preview. So this is another part of chapter 10. This is how you fill the syringe. And here, every now and then you will find something like this. So you see, this is a picture and with an explanation, and the background is pink. So when you see this, and then basically what this is an explanation of the previous step. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in here into this. Okay, this is great. You see, so it says the explanation of steps 10, 27, 10, 28, because so this, my method, the DIV for the supraparanoid, this is a, let's say, unique method. So this is not what your ozone doctor will use. This is not what you will see on other YouTube videos or other people do. So this is the DIV for the supraparanoid method. This is something that I have developed with and having in mind that, to make it as safe as possible. And so there are many things that may seem over the top. So there's some things that like filling the syringe that requires some strange syringe filling stations and some strange acrobatics. But there is method behind the madness, and I explain this method. I explain the reasons why I recommend doing it the way I'm proposing in those pinkish here boxes, so that so that basically you understand what is behind this whole process. Another part here is how to inject more than 60 cc. So this is another thing that you will learn in the book. So some people want to inject more than 60 milliliters in one go, and so basically this requires that you use more than one syringe full of the gas. And so at some point you need to exchange the empty syringe that you just injected for another full syringe. And so I also show how to do this as safely as possible. So this is chapter 13. This is a preview from chapter 13, and chapter 13 deals with using a glass syringe to perform DIV ozone injections, which I do not recommend for beginners. And in general, this is a little more complicated process. But if you absolutely want to use a glass syringe to perform DIV ozone injections, then I also show how to do this, as safely as possible. All right, here, this is what this is so at the end of each chapter, you will have questions, and then at the end of the book, there are answers to the question. And this is an example here of questions, I think, after chapter 13. So you can basically test your knowledge, and so you can test yourself and see whether you understood everything. I also recommend that before you perform the DAV ozone injections, that you actually do a few so-called dry runs. So that basically you use the book and then you do as if you were doing the injection, just to understand the steps and just to have practice all the steps, from start to finish before you perform the actual injection. So those are here. Those are again questions after chapter 10. So as I said, chapter 10. This is the main chapter. Here is a preview of the content, but I will show you the whole content. As I said, there are 20 different chapters a little later. So if you are interested in DAV ozone injections, why should you buy the book, or why is it a good idea to get the book? So here I presented 6 kind of bullet points, the most important points that I find. So number 1 is that this book will teach you how to perform DAV ozone injections with confidence. So because many people who are interested in DIVs, they just go on YouTube and or Google it, and then they see some videos, and the videos which are available on YouTube do not show safe ways to perform DAV ozone injections. Well, some steps are pretty good, but others are an absolute no-go. So one of the things that you will see online is people injecting themselves with DAV while sitting upright or standing up, or there's even one video where the person with the needle in the arm and with the syringe in the other arm, in the other hand, is walking from room to room. Now, this is something that should never be done. So this is something that can be quite dangerous. And now some of you may be wondering, well, hold on, wait a minute, but those people are doing it on video and they're fine, they're alive, nothing happens. And well, yes, it's the same thing. You can go bungee jumping and 100 times and it will be fine, and 101st time it will end in disaster. So yes, it can go well. There can be no problems if you do this, but in other people it can be really a big problem. So DAV ozone injections should be never performed standing up or walking around. So my book basically gives you tools and gives you the knowledge so that you know how to do it correctly, so that you understand, okay, this is really not a matter of luck, whether I happen to get it right. No, this is a method that has been tested and tried, and that I know to be safe. So another thing another reason why buying my book may be a good idea for you is that this book, my method, really puts safety above everything else. So this is also the reason why I call it DIV for the super paranoid, because I'm completely paranoid about the possibility of having air in the syringe. And that is, although some people say, a little bit of air, this is fine. I'm like, no, actually, it is not fine for me. So if you want to risk some neurological deficits, if you want to risk air getting into your brain, that's up to you. But my method basically tries to exclude the possibility of contamination with air as much as possible. And this also explains all the different acrobatics and the syringe filling station and how you handle the syringe once it's full, and how you handle it before you perform the injection. It is to really eliminate the possibility of getting air into the syringe to nearly zero. Another reason why it may be a good idea for you to buy the book is, as I said, it's a tried and tested technique. So this is something that I've developed over the last 11 years. And I'm also drawing from Oxyvenierung. So Oxyvenierung, this is the German art of injecting pure oxygen into the vein. And they've been doing this here in Germany for 60 or 80 years. I believe it's since the it is since for the past 60 years. Okay, I need to correct this, 60 not 80 years since that, because they've been doing this since the 1960s. So and those people, so injecting pure oxygen is really very, very similar to injecting an ozone oxygen mix, and these people really have it down to an absolute art, and you will never hear and there have never been in the past any serious accidents in the art of Oxyvenierung, because they figured it out and they know how to do this correctly. And this is something that I've also studied. I am a certified Oxyvenierer, and so my technique also builds on what those guys are doing. So it's an amalgamation, it's a combination of my experience and of Oxyvenierung and what I've been taught from other people who have been doing this for decades. Okay, another reason why it may be a good idea to buy the book is because there is a picture for each step. So it's really a DIV for dummies. So as you saw on the preview pictures of the pages that I showed you, you get one picture and an explanation what you need to do. So it's a total of 227 pictures. So it's a lot of pictures. This is one of the reasons why it took so long for the book to be published, because that's a lot of pictures that you need to edit and change the formats and everything, then reshoot, and it was a lot of work. So another good reason why to buy the book, because you will learn how to find a vein. So if you're a beginner, if you've never injected yourself, this is how I started out with DIV ozone injections 11 years ago. I've never injected myself for anything, neither for a subcutaneous injection or intramuscular or to give myself vitamin C infusions, nothing. And so at the beginning it can be quite frustrating, because it may take a while until you have the technique down pat, so that you can actually find the vein and inject the vein, and that you see that you are actually in the vein and not somewhere outside of the vein or near or inside the tissue. So how to inject the veins is a 4-step process, and again, this is also explained in the book with, again, pictures for each step. Another reason why you should buy the book, or maybe a good idea to buy the book, is that I go in detail through the equipment that you should use. So DIV ozone injections, they require oxygen of special purity. So as I have explained in other videos, at the moment I do not recommend industrial oxygen, and I know many people who do ozone treatments at home, they use industrial oxygen tanks. The problem is that some members of our ozone group on Facebook, they have set out to actually test the oxygen from industrial oxygen tanks. And in at least one case, it turned out that the concentration was below 99%. It was at, I believe, 96.3% or something like that. And so this is not pure enough to perform DIV ozone injections. So at this moment, I do not recommend that people use industrial oxygen. But this is really not a problem, because right now, thanks to Corona, you can actually buy medical grade oxygen without a prescription and really just with a few clicks. So if you're anywhere in the contiguous USA, you can buy medical oxygen online And later I will also tell you where you can find a list of all the equipment that you need. So this is one option. Another option is to buy ultra high purity scientific grade oxygen from Airgas. Now, ultra high purity scientific grade oxygen is actually purer than medical oxygen. In my opinion, this is the best solution right now. And you don't need a prescription, you don't need a license, nothing. If you have a local Airgas shop, then just go there and ask them for ultra high purity scientific grade oxygen. And this type of oxygen comes in industrial CGA 540 bottles. So you will need to buy a CGA 540 industrial pediatric regulator. And then you have one of the purest oxygen available. Each batch is tested and comes with a certificate that it has been tested and that it is super pure. And the oxygen is 99.994% purity. So this is another thing I explain, what type of oxygen you need, how you should handle the oxygen tank, how you should handle the regulator, how you should handle the valve of the oxygen tank, because those are all things that you need to take into consideration, because an oxygen tank contains a lot of gas under extreme pressure that you're holding at home. So this requires certain safety precautions to make sure that the tank does not turn into a missile. So this is one thing, this is the oxygen, but of course also the ozone generator itself, like which ozone generator do you need? And I include a lot of suggestions and recommendations. My favorite ozone generator is the PromoLife dual cell. And you also need all the other supplies like butterfly needles, tape, tourniquets, and so on and so forth. And you also find explanations why you need specifically those supplies and not others. So this is lots of ideas, lots of reasons why buying the book may be a good idea if you are interested in DAV ozone injections. So if you are interested in this, so basically what you do, so the book costs $47, but if anyone was heeding my advice that I gave in the past videos to subscribe to my newsletter, then you must have received a code that gives you a discount for 50%. Now, this was in the past, so I will not send out the code anymore. So I hope you are all subscribed. If you did subscribe and you did not get the email, then please check your spam folder. It probably ended up in the spam. So if you're interested in the book, you click here on buy. And then you, of course, type in your name. And here, what is important is you need to check this box here, because there's no refunds for ebooks. And I hope this is not a shock, not a surprise, that I don't give refunds for ebooks, because otherwise people could just buy the ebook, then get the automatic download and then say, hey, no, I don't like it, please give me a refund. No, unfortunately, no. So I'm asking everyone to make sure to acknowledge that there are no refunds. And here is another option. You can gift this to somebody else. So if you want to send the book as a gift, then you click here on yes, and then a separate box opens up where you enter the name of the person you want to gift the book to and their email address, and you can even include a message. And so they will then receive the book to this email address that you're going to type in here. And then you type in your address, then accept here the terms and conditions, which state that it's a lot of them, but basically, so the short version of the terms and condition is that, number one, no refunds. Number two, if any harm or any damage will come to you because of the book, then I'm not claiming any liability. So you acknowledge here that you understand this. And here, if you have a discount code, then you type in the discount code, and then don't forget to click go in order to make sure that the discount code has been activated. And then you check out, and then you will, I won't do this right now, but you will basically receive 3 different emails. So one email will be the invoice, the other email will be the confirmation, and the confirmation email will be the link, the download link. So you click on the download link, and you have 5 attempts to download the book. And then also another email, so you get 3 emails. Another email is for you to confirm if you want to get updates of the book. Now, this is a very good idea to activate the update, the update confirmation, because if there will be updates of the book, and there certainly will be some updates, if I find some errors or typos or whatever, there will be future editions of the book. And if you're subscribed to the updates, then you will automatically receive an updated version of the ebook. So it's really a good idea to confirm the subscription to the updates. So basically, you give me permission that I can send you updates of the book. And so for those who are interested in subscribing to my newsletter, because there will be, in the future, there will be some good stuff coming out, and I will also offer, most probably for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and like whatever other occasion, I will probably do some sales and some special occasion discounts. So definitely make sure to be subscribed to my newsletter. So for this, go to thepowerofozone.com/news to not miss any future discounts or special offers. And there may be also some other good stuff coming up. Okay, one more thing that I wanted to show you. So when you check out here, okay, so we're gonna do this here. We're gonna do like a mock offer order. Okay, so when you check out, so at the checkout, you will be also asked if you want to add the live training to the order. Okay, so you can, if you are interested, then you click here, yes, please, and then this will be added to the order. So the training here, the price for the training is discounted by $50 for people who are interested in the training. So that training, this is a one-on-one session. It takes 4 hours. So it used to be 3 hours, now it's 4 hours. So I had to increase the price a little bit. But yeah, if you buy the book together with this training, then you will get a discount of $50 on the training. So if you're interested, then click here, yes, please. Now by default, it's clicked on no thanks. All right. So only if you really want it, you have to go here and click on this. And so let me show you what people have said about the training who took part in the training. So recently I have received an ecstatic review by Tony. It was really great to have Tony on the training. So Tony said the training was absolutely brilliant, well set out, comprehensive, very professional. I felt 100% confident to do the DIV on myself at the end of the session. Paola goes above and beyond to ensure my safety was paramount, and I was competent to perform the DIV. So the DIV training is a particular type of training because it's like a back and forth. So I show you how the procedure looks. So we do a number of dry runs and I explain all the steps, and then I ask you to guide me through it, to basically dictate all the steps back to me, and we do this several times, and then we switch, and then I dictate the steps to you, and then at some point you do them all by yourself. So we do this that many times, as many times until you are confident, until you have all the steps down pat. So for anyone who's interested in this type of hands-on experience, then you can book the training with the book. Okay, let me show you another great testimonial from someone who took part in the training. This was Stephen. Actually, it was Stephen and I believe 3 other people. And Stephen also was happy. He said she did a great job. Paula went step by step on how to do the protocol correctly and safely. So for anyone who is not so hard about the idea of doing it by yourself and just with the help of a book, then as I said, you have the possibility of booking the training here with me with this little click here. So okay, now let's take a look at the actual book. Okay, this is a lot of clicking that I need to do. Just a moment. All right, let me show you the book itself. So the book, as I said, this is 170 pages. It's 11 megabytes big. 227 pictures and 20 different chapters. All right, so here's the book. Let's see how this looks like here on the screen. All right, here it is. So this is the cover, and now let's move here to the content. So you already saw part of the content. Now let me show you the whole thing. So, okay, so first chapter is why I decided to write this book, then why it is called DIV for the super paranoid. So we go in all the details, also into the definition of DIV, a very short history of DIV. Then we go into the risks of DIV ozone injections, so all the scary stuff, contraindications when not to perform DIV. So there are a certain conditions that people may have where it is not a good idea to perform DIV ozone injections or really any type of ozone treatment. Then here a very detailed explanation with lots of pictures about the required equipment. So everything that you need from oxygen tank, regulator, ozone generator, things like syringe and so forth. Then general preparations. So there's a number of things that you should do before you start filling the syringe. So how you set up the equipment, where you set it up. You should also familiarize yourself with the syringe filling station. And you see everything here is hyperlinked. So you can click on the chapter. So let's click here on this chapter, right? And you see here it brings you immediately to the chapter. Here I explain in detail the syringe filling station. So this is something, the syringe filling station is probably that one thing that most people have some problems with. So it is a good idea to get to know this piece of equipment before you start the DIV injections to understand how it functions. And so you see, I explained this here with, again, lots of pictures. Okay, now let's go back to the content. So next chapter is how to create an airtight oxygen circuit. I explained, the importance of this. Then how to handle an oxygen tank. Again, this is something, some people feel a little apprehensive having an oxygen tank at home, which is something that is under extreme pressure. So here, hopefully, my description, my tips, they take away some of that fear. Then another chapter is veins, all about veins, how to inject veins. So here is this 4-step process I talked about. You see how to inject a vein. So step number 1, which angle to keep the needle, then check for blood when you puncture, then you need to flatten the needle and then you push it into the vein. And then at the end of the chapter, there's also lots of tips how to deal with phlebitis. and how to prevent phlebitis, what to do if you have difficult veins. And so at the end, you see there are chapter questions, so you can test your knowledge, and you can also always go back and see whether you understood everything properly. And here's a link. You see everything is hyperlinked, and there are sources at the end of each chapter. All are also hyperlinked. And so you just click here and you get the answers. Bam. And then if you want to continue reading the book, then you just click on go back, and then you continue with, let's say, the next chapter. So, okay, so chapter number 9 is all about veins. Chapter number 10 is DIV for the superparanoid. So this is, as I said, so this is the actual procedure. And this is, you see, so this is chapter 10. And this is over 60 different steps with lots of explanatory boxes like this. So the pink boxes is the explanation, as you see. So there's lots of pictures, very detailed, really step-by-step type of a DIV for dummies, and everything to make it as safe as possible. You see, I don't think there's any such comparable resource anywhere else with really any other ozone treatment right now. So this is chapter 10. Okay, now the following chapters are how to inject more than 60 cc's, and there's also a step-by-step procedure how to do this, how to treat varicose veins with DIV injections, and we have before and after pictures, so let's go to those. So those are all pictures of people that I have treated myself. So those are legs of my dad. You see he had here very pronounced varicose veins, and then after a few DIV ozone injections, they completely went away. This is another client of mine. You see this is before, after, more client pictures. So this is chapter 12. So chapter 12, how to use DIV ozone injections to treat varicose veins, which DIV ozone injections are really work fabulously for varicose veins. This is just an amazing thing. Then how to perform DIV with a glass syringe. Again, I do not recommend that beginners, I do not recommend the glass syringes in general for DIV, but as I said, some people are really gung-ho on glass syringes, so I believe that the method that I'm presenting here is the safest there is, and this is another step-by-step procedure with another more than 40 pictures just for the glass syringe. Then troubleshooting. There's a number of things that can go wrong during DIV ozone injections, like there can be burning sensation, blockage, trouble finding a vein. This is for beginners. This is the most common problem, that you're basically puncturing the vein and there is no blood coming out. Chest tightness, cough, crunchiness around injection site, allergic reaction, loss of consciousness. So what to do when those things happen? This is what this chapter is about. Then things you should never ever do. So those are all things to consider if you want to keep DIV ozone injections as safe as possible. Then here, chapter 16, this is I give links to all the equipment that you can buy, or that you have to have if you want to use the DIV for the superparanoid method. Next chapter, how to use DIV therapeutically. So I give ideas, I give tips how to treat different conditions, because different conditions require a different approach. So whether it's an acute infection or a chronic infection, autoimmune condition, or varicose veins, or if you want to use it preventatively, then you need to use slightly different approaches with DIV and with ozone therapy in general. Then also how to deal with Herxheimer reactions, how to distinguish Herxheimer reactions from, let's say, allergic reactions or some adverse reactions. This is what chapter 18 is about. And then 19 also debunk some of the myths about DIV ozone injections, and I talk about how safe they are. Because many people have this preconception that DIV ozone injections are super dangerous, And well, yes, there are some serious things that can happen with DAV ozone injections. So you should take care, great care, and this is what the book is for, to minimize the risks of those complications. But in general, when comparing DAV ozone injections with over-the-counter drugs, conventional medical treatments, and even chiropractic adjustments, then DAV ozone injections and ozone therapy in general are really one of the safest methods ever devised by human beings. And here, chapter 20, you see have extensive answers to all the questions, which to all the chapters, to all the chapter questions that you found at the end of each chapter. So this is the book. You see, so this is maybe this will become the DIV Bible. So this is really extensive. I really put a lot of work in it. So it's not only the procedure and the steps that you need to undertake to perform the injection itself, but also there's research about the history of the injection and risks and contraindications. So it's really packed with a lot of information. So what else? There's something else I wanted to mention that right now I'm blanking out on a little bit. Before I remember what else I wanted to tell you, let me show you a few reviews about the book which have already come in. So here someone wrote to me, "I just bought your book and it is my new Bible." And then that person had some other questions about drinking ozonated water. Here someone said me, "I read your book yesterday. I'm very impressed with your work. It is very well thought out and easy to understand. Thanks for all your work about a topic near and dear to our group." Another review here, "Incredible resource. I've received DIV ozone many times over the years and Paula's level of detail is right on point for the paranoid. So many questions answered and pro tips in a clear step-by-step format with very clear pictures. Worth every penny and more. Many thanks, Paula." So people, the first reviews, it seems people like them, and those were very spontaneous reviews. I did not prompt people. I did not pay them for it or did not promise anything. So yeah, I hope you will like it. I hope the book is very exhaustive. If not, then let me know. Let me know what is missing. Let me know what could be improved. And yeah, I feel like I'm missing out on something. I feel like I wanted to cover another topic and now I'm blanking out what it is. But anyways, all right, so enough with the marketing. But as I said, if you're not interested in DIV, if you find this is too scary, too crazy, whatever, do not buy the book, do not do DIV ozone injections. As I said, there is no condition that I can think of that requires absolutely to perform DIV ozone injections and no other ozone treatment. No, I do not believe this is the case. There's always alternatives. You can do ozonated saline IVs, major to chemotherapy, ozone saunas. Ozone saunas are probably the most underrated ozone treatment. And more than ozone saunas, probably hydrogen peroxide soaking baths. So yeah, if you're interested, go buy the book. As I said, this is thepowerofozone.com/shop. I probably should stop saying as I said. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you will like the book. If you have questions, let me know and see ya.